You are now listening to the podcast for geeks and the stuff they love, where each week we'll talk about everything from anime to movies, games, and prop collecting with the people who create and love it. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Vince.
I'm James.
And this is your Geek Fix.
So it's kind of cool, actually. This week, I don't know if you guys know it or not. I got to one of my favorite podcasts. One of my favorite YouTubers is Chris Broad, who does Abroad in Japan. And they read a story that I sent to them.
We got a story though, and it's from Jeremy Warner.
We've had Adam Savage has mentioned us.
Your Geek Fix. Your Geek Fix. I'm answering the second question from your Geek Fix. Well, okay.
Answered some questions, and they edited some things for us. Yeah. And then, and then of course, like Bitter Asian Dude also did a shout out basically to us.
Geek Fix. We still need to collab. Yes, we do, my friends. Yes, we do.
It's always fun to have something that interaction with something that you enjoy, and the whole purpose of this channel and of this podcast is a way of connecting. I mean, even the reason why I reached out to these guys initially and started having conversations and stuff is the opportunity to be able to talk about certain things and then also be able to see what people do. And we've been asking for months, like for people to send things in. We've talked a couple of times about some small things, but there you go. Yeah. But, I thought it was cool that this last week, or over these past few weeks, I should say, because we do this podcast, we record it all at once, just in case, once again, in case you don't know, the reason why we'll wear the same clothes for a full month isn't because that's all that's in our closet. It's because literally we record these all at once.
Yeah. Speak for yourself.
Yeah. There's like stains underneath. But so for example, I'm wearing this shirt right here. Right now, this is from Fallout, of course, one of the magazines that you can pick up in Fallout 4, isn't it? I think it was the Fallout 4 ones.
Yeah.
And Vince is showing us some of the other. The guy? Yep, Gragnock. Yep, Grognak. Sorry, man. But we have some viewers that have been pretty consistent with the channel and that really we communicate with all the time. One of those is Classic Glue Reviews, which he has actually a few other names of Alt Tech Criminal Investigative Services, is also the Twitter one, I think. And then also he sells some of his artwork on Redbubble as Classic Glue. And so, I put in our community section, anytime you guys send something in and you do want us to share it, we'll put it into the community section. So I put that in a link, I think. I can't remember. Sometimes we can't get away with links in YouTube. But at any rate, some stuff that he sells, and I bought this from him and like it. Actually, I wore it to Puerto Rico. So, but he's a great artist. He actually did, his channel is focused on it's kind of funny, actually. He's tweaked it though more recently, so I don't know if you can still see any of the videos, but he would have Sheev Palpatine reviewing movies, and he'd animate it. So
yeah, it was great.
Have you seen it? Yeah. So he's going through and saying things they were funny, and would review even like just standard movies, not necessarily like Star Wars or anything.
Yeah, also the audiobooks.
Yeah. And he does audiobooks, also including for Doctor Who stuff as well. Yeah. And so check them out.
So we know who you are. Classically.
That's right. Yeah. Feel free to comment to them. Of course, always keep comments good on our channel and stuff. But
check out
stuff like that. That's kind of cool. Another frequenter that we've actually brought up before also on this channel that I have to have Vince help me out with, because I think I get it wrong every time. I think the member also will make a comment about how I try to pronounce it. So I'm going to try it once again. Seelen Schlut? Does that sound right to you?
I think it's Seelenschlucht.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, you said what you thought it meant too. What does it mean?
It's something like a gap in the soul or something like Seelen. That's the soul.
Oh,
and
okay.
Schlucht is, I believe, like a gap or something like that.
Gap in the soul. They got a lathe, which is from 1958. A 1958 lathe, like a big one, a commercial kind of lathe that they got a hold of and kind of tweaked and got running. That had some problems with the emergency stop. That got smashed during transport, and they had to take it apart, put it all back together. The push button then sprang off, which I guess was easy to fix. And then they also had to figure out how to get some of the levers going again. And of course, this company's not around anymore, so it's been gone for a long time. So there's no manuals or anything like that. No way to figure out how to do different things. But they had to figure out how to drain the oil from the gearbox and do different things. So of course, it also smoked initially until they could figure out some coolant options and put in a water-based coolant system. And so they also gave it a name. They said it's a quite agile old lady, and so they named it Trixie. Trixie after, I bet you Vince will know this reference. Do you know where Trixie might come from if it was from a cartoon?
Yeah, because I read the comment.
Oh, you read the comment. That's cheating.
But
I actually forgot because I haven't watched that show for a long time. That used to be one of my favorite shows. I do remember Gyro and Gyro Gearloose and stuff. But yeah.
Those names are totally different in German and Dutch. Yeah.
Are they? Oh, okay. Yeah. So I mean, it's from Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Say for the people that haven't read the comment.
Oh yeah. Is it in the? Oh yeah. If you haven't gone into, I guess again, I also put this. I think inside of I'm not sure if I put it inside of the community section because they were sending me some videos and I was going to edit those together. And then I got in there last night and found out the links don't work anymore because I think it was time limited, which I didn't know, and I didn't fully download them. I just watched them. And so I'm waiting for them to send me them back. So hopefully I get those in time for this to come out. If not, I'll try and post it somewhere so you can kind of see what they worked on and what they did. But also, I'm very, very cool. I wish I had a lathe, honestly. My son loves working with lathes. But another one that we had was a very direct submission.
To get back on Trixie. Trixie is the German name of gadget hack wrench, just in case people were wondering.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So we also got a picture, which I'll show at this point in time in the video. But you can also check out in our community section if you're listening to this online. Emily Quigg at KWG or Lady Amelia, as they are also going by, I think, for the purpose of what they did. We received a message from them that said they wrote this specifically. They said, "Hey y'all, I just wanted y'all to show y'all a picture of my growing wooden staff that I use to help keep my disabled Blake from LARPing."
Glowing, not growing.
Yeah, they're glowing. Is it? Glowing. Sorry, did I say growing?
That's a Freudian slip.
Let's go back and add that. Yeah, let's not talk about growing wooden staffs. Glowing wooden staff that I use to keep myself LARPing. I grew a silver maple tree, and I used the branches to make my canes. And this is the tallest one so far. It's got a leather baseball stitch cap on the bottom as an anti-slip measure that looks more in-world than plastic clutch tip would. The branches at the top act as a pouch clip, and I just slide the strap of the bag into the two close together branches, and it stays put in place and until I remove it. Great for character stuff, and also just for convenience for hiding my phone and medications or whatnot. I also hang my mug and anything else with the handle on it there. Very convenient. Kind of like Vince's backpack. I scorched the tip.
Medieval. Yeah.
Yeah. This is just the flip and not so Ghostbustery, but scorched the tip because the staff is also like a giant wand, basically. So I guess the idea would be that it gets scorched from doing spells. Of course, it would. And until you go to the store in in Harry Potter and get a smaller one, I guess. I don't know if that. Let's hear. The body glows in the dark, which is very cool. Or even just in low light. I used a powder called Blue Lit, which I've got to check out. Is it? I haven't seen that yet.
There's an artist called Stuart Sample in the UK, and Adam Savage uses his mirror paint, which is like a highly reflective paint, to make his swords look like real metal.
Oh, really?
But he's like a chemist and an artist in one. So he basically designs new colors, and the lit stuff like blue lit, green lit, and everything is like amazingly very vibrant, glow in the dark stuff. And he makes Black 3.0, which is like the blackest black.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I've used that actually.
And he has a feud with some Indian developer that has a disclaimer on the side that says, if you are this guy, you are not allowed to buy it from me unless you accept that my black is blacker or something like that.
Interesting.
Because the guy who invented Vanta Black, he basically patented it or something, or made it very inaccessible for people to use. And then Stuart Sample made it his charge to actually
try and find something better.
Yeah, and say you're not allowed to use it because it's my black.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
but so this is pretty cool. Checking it out, it looks like this is true. Looks like stuff. Medieval mixing. I mean, they have actual wagons and everything else there. I digging through some pictures. I think they even got to interact with some other people.
She also mentions in the brief that she's not that able-bodied as she would like to be. So the staff is also a practical prop that helps her.
It's necessary.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, work with what you got and incorporate everything you can. I mean, it looks really great. A really cool picture also. I always wanted to go LARPing one day, but the only thing I do is wear a Ghostbusters outfit and go to public transport, if that counts. But
you need the right weapons for it too. Usually,
I have a big Roman tower shield in the garage that I could use.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good.
I bought it for $20 at a thrift store.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
It's metal and wood and everything, but yeah.
Well, make sure you comment and say hi to Lady Amelia and stuff in the comments below. Another person who's a friend of our channel. And in fact, I texted her last night quite a few times.
She's been on the podcast as well.
She's been on the podcast the second month actually that we had. She and her significant other are both animators. You've seen probably their work. Both of them have been involved in the newer Crash Bandicoot game. They were involved in the newest Oddworld game. Actually, in relation to Crash Bandicoot, I'll also make this comment because I texted her the other day about this. As I was looking through online, I ran across a Crash Bandicoot site that had our podcast on it. I was like, that's cool. Weird. Oh. And I went out there. It's called Crash News, I think it is. And it was the episode that I did with those guys where we talked about the development of and making of that game.
And they're like, "This is gold. We need it."
We got to. It's one of those where they catch everything that's out there. Let's buy that. But at the same time, she also last night I went and saw the Spider-Verse movie. Right. She was involved in that. She helped make that. One of the biggest scenes she was involved in was actually the one I think it's on the bridge. The bus scene where I'm not letting anything go. So if you haven't seen this, you just don't know what's going on. It's not going to really reveal anything.
I haven't.
But basically, there's a bus that gets pulled up. Yeah. A bus gets pulled up.
The spiders.
A girl comes off the bus. She hugs her father and stuff. She did all the hugging stuff. She did that hugging scene.
Okay.
That was pretty much hers. Anyway, and stuff. But I didn't know when I went into it, though. This is the only spoiler I'm going to give you, so you don't run into the same problem I did.
If she was a Star Wars character, she would be General Hux then.
I went last night when I went to see it, I texted her first and I said, "Hey, we're about to go see this." She's like, "Awesome." And then afterwards, I texted her again because I did not know that this is, and I'm revealing this to you so you can make your decision as to whether or not you want to see this now or wait and see it. This is a two-parter.
Oh.
So I told I just got done telling James that when I went and saw the first part of the Endgame, part of things of Marvel, I saw that at 2:00 in the morning because I wanted to be one of the first ones to see it. Saw it 2:00 in the morning and didn't know there was two parts. None of the people in the audience knew. And then when it ended, everyone was like, just dead silence because they didn't know. Just walking out really quietly. In this case, when it ended, there's some people that were like, "What? Are you kidding me?" Because you expect for it to keep going. And when I checked with her, though, I was like, "Hey, can you tell me, were you involved in, did they remake the other part? Were you involved in this?" And she said no, and they're just now working on it. Actually, Sony is, but India's actually left. So she left Sony since, and because she's going to be working for Disney, so she's going to be working for Disney, also in Canada. And so that's where Disney
so no
and
more
Sony have.
She's under NDA now.
Well, she was under NDA before too. If you go back and watch her shows, she would always be like, "I'm working on something right now. I wish I could tell you, but I can't." The very first time I ever talked to her, she was working on a show for Netflix. It was called this Sea Monster show.
Oh wow, really?
Animation. Yeah, it was a pretty big. It was a
that's
big
a
movie.
cool
It was
film.
really good. If you she did that. And then she was able to tell me the last time that she was on the show. And then at that point, she was probably working on Spider-Verse. So she's like, "I'm working on something even cooler, but I can't tell you about it." That's what
difficult.
this is. She had to be quiet too when she was working on Crash Bandicoot. Her brother, particularly, is a huge fan of Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
She can tell him anything that they were working on and stuff. It's because, when you're under a non-disclosure. But the reason why I bring her up is because also this week she contacted me and said, "Hey, that she made a short film animation that the first time I met with her, she was still working on. And then when they got done with it, they spent over a year taking it all over, the world to multiple different film festivals and won over and over again, won a lot of awards and things.
Rightfully so,
Cat and Moth. And so that is hers. And this last week, that became free to see online. You could go to catandmoth.com, catandmoth.com, and you can just watch it and see what you think. And if you leave a comment for her, I told her that we'd be talking about this too. This is a podcast, so she'll be able to see it if you want to leave a comment for her too. But we want to keep seeing stuff like this, right? We want to keep hearing your stories, your stuff, seeing your stuff. It's so cool to see. If you want to, email it to us, we can put it into the community section. We can also
send us swag. We'll wear it for a month.
There you go. Yeah, we will. That's true. It will appear that way. Yeah.
If you've enjoyed this podcast and want more, stay tuned for that. But also check out our channel. Join the community on YouTube that goes by the same name, your Geek Fix. Be sure to check out Vince on Twitter at MassiveDMG_ and on his YouTube channel, MassiveDMG. Check out James at Mr. Malto4 on Instagram and the Replica Prop Forum. We also want to hear from you, so be sure to send your questions, stories, and other projects to yourgeekfix@gmail.com. In the meantime, this has been your Geek Fix.